Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I am Lori-Lynn, this SpiritWithinUs. This is the High Priestess Oracle, and welcome and thank you back for coming back. Today is, I just asked Spirit for the messages in the highest good of all involved, and whoever needs to hear this message as intended will hear this messages. I don't offer advice, but I do offer tools and guidance and a way out of situations, or knowing whether or not you're on the right track. But it's how to make your own decisions. We are all responsible and accountable to ourselves. And so with that, I will begin. I'm going to say there's 3 different piles. The color of today somehow presented as the green color. Everything is coming to me in greens. So this is the first stone, and that came with I wrote the dice prior to, the number 11. Now the number 11 is what I consider the synchronicity number. It means you'll start seeing things that will cause you to turn a certain way, or something will just be said and something will go, oh, there's an idea. Just certain synchronicities. You'd be walking along and meeting somebody, it just happens to have been that person that you were looking for. So that's the number 11 with this green crystal stone. The second pile is this green crystal, calcite, and it's an octagon. And again, this is from my friend Cherie from FreedomsWind, and she's on Etsy and Facebook, but she does have beautiful crystals and jewelry. This comes from the number 5. You can see that. This looks like a bunch of from here. Anyways, the number 5 is the number of courage. So perhaps there's an opportunity, or there's something in front of you that may require you to step ahead of the courage and to step outside of your comfort zone. So moving away from the fear, even if it's there, saying somehow this is going to improve my situation, improve my life. So that's number 5 and pile number 2. Pile number 3 is the green Flourite in the same shape. I love this shape, as a matter of fact. But that's also with the crystal clear agate from where? FreedomsWind. Yes, of course. And that is with the number 2. And the number 2 is always about unity and decision making. So within the 2 of them. So there's a unity, but it all comes through a decision that's being made. Okay, so just take a moment, and I'll put aside pile number 3 and pile number 2. And we will begin with pile number 1. So pile number 1, here's your stone. It is absolutely, it's actually quite stunning. I do think all crystals are stunning, and it came with the number 11, and that's the number of synchronicity. So let's find out our opening message. Oh, perfect. And I think that this is, it's very reflective of what I was saying in the beginning, is that the synchronicities are going to begin to happen, or you can begin to notice them more and more and more. And that's because there's a newness about you. It's from where you are right here, perhaps you're feeling a little bit down, or a little bit of harshness is just what they said. So a little bit of harshness, but the card that is at the center of this is the card of coming to life. So hang on, stick with it, stay in the game, because things are beginning to come into life. And with that, we can there'll just be a little bit of a jump in your step, and you'll begin to see that. If you look at this card right here at the top, he's holding his own light. And so you're knowing that you're responsible to your own light. And sorry, I have to shut this a little bit. Thank you. That you are responsible for your own manifestations, for your thoughts, everything you're presenting out there. But things are starting to happen. It looks like underneath, it's like you're going to get a big, I'm going to say, surprise, and it's going to lift. It's going to lift you right out of the water. It's going to be that breath that you've been waiting for. It's like a breath of fresh air is what's being said. So it's rather interesting. So from here to there, as you're moving forward, this week, it really is about starting and moving forward, and it almost seems like the same energy, but it's the card of the Fool, and it's in the position of taking chances. So there may be what has come before, say today, may not have always been in the best light. And so you may have gone through some trauma, some crises, just some things. So you may be shot. Well, I was going to say trigger shy. I don't really like that saying, but you may just be more shy, a little bit more conscientious rather than mindful of taking a new step forward, taking new chances, taking that opportunity that just appeared. And because of the synchronicity that was brought up in the beginning, taking that chance, when you take those opportunities, that's what's going to create your next step forward. So if you're hesitant or if you're afraid, that's what you need to move past, is you need to move on the other side of that and say, something great is going to come out of this. Some big lesson that I need to know right now is going to come out of this. Some person that I'm going to meet is going to come out of that. It's almost like it's like giving yourself a fist pump every time you want to go out. Like, yay, let's go out, let's get this done. That's what's needed right now, is to always take those chances that just seem to come out of the blue. Don't let them scare you anymore. Just because of your past, don't let it hold you back. And what balances these two cards is very, very, very interesting. Is the first one is the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is wise, and he is he's filled with so much knowledge and experience, which you possess both of these things. But on the other side of that is the Page of Wands, and the Wands are all about moving forward, of taking those chances. But because of these things that may have happened in the past, you need to take these. Your intuition says to take these, but you're kind of, if you can see him, he's turned away from the Hierophant to begin with, but he's also thinking about it. But instead, think about it as one more notch on your branch, so you get to climb higher. That's kind of sounded a fun way about it. So the next card that comes up is the meditation card, or what you really need to think on. And the card is of the Four of Pentacles. And I see this little guy here that's wearing money as shoes. This, in this position, is about how to save, how to be the winner, how to get ahead, so when you're in meditation, when you're in deep thought, where your thoughts can be taken from within you through that line of energy, and present it out into the universe and to the divine, remember that you're needing to save, that you're needing to get into the game. Like, it may just be, it's not in your head right now, an idea in your head, but if you're really into it, well, you're going to save, you're going to read up about things. Like, how do I hold on to all of that I have and move forward and grow? So when you're in that meditative thought, see all these different ideas and thoughts coming forward for you. And as you do, set your intentions. Like, what part of this path, this journey am I on? Let's say I want to open up a breakfast nook. So first of all, I have to know where would I want to be. And so visualize that and just hang on to it really tightly and feel that energy as though you own it, as though you were there, as though you were standing there and there are, people coming in. And hold on to that energy. Hold on to that feeling. Send your wishes out into the universe. Let that part go, but keep that feeling within yourself, okay? So the next card is in the card of, it is in the card of your body, and it's the Three of Cups. And so this is the card of celebration. And this appears within this card that there is a celebration, and it's of you. And perhaps that's part of what you're forgetting to have done at some point. You're forgetting to lift yourself up. So perhaps we're saying right now you need to have, a little party, not to have a big one, but just to celebrate unity, celebrate, with a couple friends that, what each of you coming together, what that means to one another. So you'd have from two other people what they mean to you. What does that feel like? And just, again, embrace that feeling, those emotions, and just sit with that and know that that's what you want more of. It's really, right now, it seems to be that you're coming, because like from a place that there may have been disarray, and you're needing just a little bit of a kick in the butt, and to remind yourself, to motivate yourself, to get yourself going. Okay, the next card is in the position of your noggin, and it's the card of the Knight of Pentacles. And this has so much to do with manifestation at this point. I think it's things that you want to bring in. And I think something that you're really good at is probably manifestation, but you're not aware of it. So I think some of the things, the synchronicities, or the things that are happening to you now to make you aware of them, so that you can, it's almost like you're going to start off in a slow, at a slow pace, but once you start realizing it and celebrating a lot, the gifts that are coming your way, or just celebrating, remembering who you are, remembering your grace, remembering your goodness, all the things about yourself, you're also going to present. The second part is not present. You're going to set the intention of the financial abundance that you may be looking for at this time. And it's not saying win the lottery or any of that, but just some sort of financial windfall that you're looking for. And you've realized that it is through manifestation that you do that. So you hold that really, really, really close, and you put it out into the universe, and you remember that feeling. You remember that feeling in your thoughts and in your mind and all throughout your body. These things, they all seem to be linked. And the card in the position, oh my gosh, in the position of your heart is the the Knight of Cups. And so I'm going to almost say exactly, this person's very shy, but in this shine is this is in the position of our heart space. And I do believe someone's coming forward to you. It's someone that's very shy, that they might have put the reins on a little bit, but I don't think that they have. It's more that it's the shyness. It's not that they don't know it, but they really wanted to present themselves as that best version of themselves. And they kind of have they have some sort of regret. And so the timidness comes from the regret. It's really quite interesting as I'm looking at these cards, and as the Knight of Pentacles, everything's holding, it's standing tall, standing up, the horse. And in this one, it's the movement, and the horse's head is down and shine. It's almost like presenting. So where there's a little bit of more confidence, but one in the manifestation is knowing that we have to stand in confidence as we intend our wishes out into the universe. And the final card in this part of the reading is the card of the Hermit. And the reason that card is so important, and it's interesting, and I don't read reversals, but I'm just going to say this part of it because I think it's meant to be that way, is that you're coming from a period where you almost were hiding yourself to this space here where you're coming to life. You've asked for it. It's coming for you. So that spark of light begins with your intentions, and that's you setting your intentions off into the universe to bring them back to you, to be guided back to you, to be gifted with all that you are indeed worthy and deserving of. So next we're going to go into the Hermit. That will be part of it. 2 cards we're going to pull right now for the Romance Angels. So for pile number 1, there's going in front of you is coming a reconciliation of some sort, a coming back together, and it's a reunification. Spirit just said it's a remembrance. It may have been a long separation, or it may have been a separation, but there's a real getting to know each other within the separation. Or separation within this reconciliation. You've known all along. I believe they have as well, but so divinely inspired. But they are now willing. Okay, so when this person either left, walked away, whatever, I don't know what the heck they did, but either, or didn't ever even start, but this is a recoming together. And I think what happened with this person is they did not give themselves fully. They weren't ready for that part of it, like giving them their whole self. And this person is now ready to give them their whole self. And so that's why this is new communication. That's what it's going to be really different. It's almost like starting anew, afresh. I keep saying pre-honeymoon stages. And the next card is Flirt. And so it will be a renewal, because they're going to be such a completely different person. It's not what you had ever experienced with this person, or what you knew from them. Even you know, their way of how they may have been flirting before, or presenting themselves, it's going to be completely different, because somehow they've, I want to say, watched you. I don't know how, but they've watched you from afar. Okay, that's really slow, Spirit. Watched you from afar, and in doing this, I think it's almost just the way that you present, and so it's sort of almost like a mimicking of, but they've learned from you. Which could be good or bad. They can say, well, that's what you do. Sorry. So there's going to be this lightheartedness within this new growth, this new relationship, because it is so new. There's a newness to it. Okay. So the next part of it are, what would the messages be? What would they want to say to you if they could? And we're going to take 5 cards. And the first thing is, do you think about me too? So obviously you're separated, or, you know, not separated in the same room. If you're separated from them, they really want to know. And I think that would have been I'm getting that was a previous energy of what they thought of, until they realized that they had to play a role in this too, of there is an unknown and an unexpected, and that they have to learn from within themselves. You know, you don't need to know the answer in order to ask the question. That would be kind of silly. I've never thought about it that way, but it's really silly. What you want to know is the answer to the question. And the next card is, there is someone else. So they may have, there is someone else. Well, I don't get anything from reading that card. Is there? No, because I keep thinking they're asking, there is someone. Okay. Gotcha. So from on their side, and it's what I was saying before about seeing, but what they're seeing, and they're seeing what they want to see, basically. And that's, everybody does that. But they really truly believe that there is somebody else with you, which is something they're not, or it's almost, they're not sure, but so they go more into the side of, they've created the story that there is a high probability that there is somebody else. And so when we go back to the questions, they want to assure themselves of the response. Excuse me, that's horrible. They want to make sure they have the right response. This is all messages that they're telling, or were, because we're just getting to the middle of this, is probably just running out, just jumping outside of this, is that they were thinking, and so they would make up excuses, because it was easier to have excuses and just to avoid you, or just to whatever, ignore you, than to sit in fear of not knowing. And the next card is, let me hold you. Well, then you got to do some work. So, you know what, if there's, and this could also symbolize that perhaps this is what drove you apart, that there was somebody else, and realizing that some of the data that they had might have been missing, that perhaps there was, but that's okay. That doesn't mean that all is lost. So I think there's just different lessons within, no matter how you look at this card. Different messages will apply differently to different people that are receiving the message, because they want to hold you. They want to reconcile. Again, I'm going to go back to, because I don't think what they want is to be revealed as, and acknowledged as this person that they've become, that they've stepped into and learned from. And so if there's confusion for you within this, excuse me, I have an itchy nose. When I'm talking about synchronicities, is that I have to do these both together. Every second card that's coming out, it's so far different from the previous card. So this card says here, let me hold you. Okay, which perfect, sounds like a wonderful card. Then it says maybe. So again, it's this push and pull and push and pull, and so you're left in this position of not knowing. And so they have these things that they've had to release. They want, and that's what they really want you to know, these things, that this is what they've been going through. This is what they've been dealing with, or trying to manage, or trying to figure out. And the honest truth was that they're just too afraid to talk, too afraid to be with you. And it's this fear that kept them apart, was because they had to know the answer. They needed to learn. That's huge. I'm almost going to say karma for them to learn within their part of the journey. And it's can be a really tough lesson to learn, is that you can't always, or you don't always have to know the outcome, because the truth is we never really ever know the outcome, because anything can come up at any time. So you're on this pathway of this, synchronicity and putting things out into the universe, and a new relationship and offering, and that person that we saw in the other part of the reading, wants to make sure that you are proud of them. So they're trying to change and be that person that, that you want, that they feel that you want them to be. And so they've had all of these things to go through with them. So be gentle and easy and kind to them. Okay, so move on to pile number 2, which is the green calcite. And the number 5, which is the number of courage. And the card, oh wow, the spark. That's beautiful. And so this automatically says, is that spark, whatever sparks your heart, whatever brings you the most joy, whatever brings you the most love, whatever, do that, because it sparks, what brings you passion, that's what sparks you. Got to do that. It draws you in. It's what you love. You have the courage to do all these things that you love to do, that you want to do. So how do we get from here to today to here? You have a choice at this time. It's the 2 of Pentacles. It's a choice that you're almost afraid to, well, you're not almost afraid to make, but it's a choice that you're not wanting to make. Yet making the choice is what's going to make all the difference in the world. But you actually just keep, I think you're looking at the wrong, you're looking at it the wrong way. And you're trying to hold together something that isn't working. And if you can see that, or if when you do see that, that's when you will make the choice that's necessary to move you forward. You'll make the decision in a very authoritarian manner. It's actually really, really asking yourself and asking another the truth. It's seeking the truth, finding the truth. That's what's necessary. That's what's needed, is the truth within. To taking a long, hard look at the truth, where you're at, where you're going, what's going to move you forward. That card is balanced by the card of the Emperor. And what I kept, you can see it here, what I kept feeling when I got these two cards were a very masculine energy that almost keeps holding you back. It's almost like within your ears of hearing, good and bad, and and I don't want to say evil, but it's weighing it as good and bad, and hearing voices saying, you can't do that. If you do that, it's gonna, like someone's yelling, and you're listening to a voice rather than listening to the truth. So it's finding that equilibrium, that balance, to go after the truth. And so, to actually listen to it, rather than stifling down and not listening to that other voice that's in your head, listening to the voice and saying, why would you be presenting me with that memory or with that circumstance or that experience? And what truth do I really need to see from that? And from all of that, you're going to be able to balance and make your decision based on a different perspective, a new reality for you. Okay, and the card in the position of meditation is the Ten of Wands. There's the card. Put those sticks down. Just put them down. That just makes me tired. It's the Emperor. I'm going to go back to those voices, and it's a masculine voice. Masculine voices that, so it would either be the father, grandfather, male teacher, somebody that was prominent in your life, that, very prominent in your life, that I'm going to say weren't the kindest, but they did what they knew, or they did with the best of what they had. So you carried that around, and you carried that around, and you carried it around, and then it got really heavy, and it still is really heavy. So you need to go into meditation and do a forgiveness meditation, the radical forgiveness. If you need to Google radical forgiveness, do that. But basically, it's taking the experience and asking for forgiveness, and in doing so, and letting it go, and really letting it go. So often within our forgiveness, we hang on to it still. We'll say to people, I've forgiven, but I haven't forgotten. Well, if we haven't forgotten, then we're still carrying it around. We can get the lesson from that, and we can carry that around, but that allows us, if we can find the lesson of the strength that it brought us, or the perseverance that we brought us. So you want to look at these experiences and find the lesson, and put down the memory, put down the experience, stop carrying it around with you, and see what you needed to learn from there, and then send it away with blessings, with love, with healing, so that you can open up that space for more. So when you're doing a meditation, is letting these things go, letting this down. And the card position of your body feelings is the card of the Six of Cups. And so I think that even, when there's this card of spark was so prevalent, that's our, underlying energy for yourself. And then in the card of position of your feelings, it's, you've now let go a lot of the feelings that, say blame feelings or shame or feeling guilt or feeling fear and all these things. And you're learning to let that go. And with that now is opening up different feelings and emotions and of love, and it begins within your childhood, because all of a sudden you're seeing a different perspective. And this could be a time where you, because of the 5 and being the card of courage, or the number of courage, because you've had this courage to change, to see the world differently, to see yourself differently in situations. But I think that's going to bring forth, because you're letting things down and you're opening up, and now you've got more room. You've got more room for love. And it's time to present that love, to have that. Let go of those thoughts. Send them away with blessings, not with anger. Only love, love, love. Love is the cure. Pollyanna me says. Okay, the card in regards to your noggin, your thinking. This is the card of the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is there's such a shift. Sorry, I'm going back to this. Such a shift in your perception that's coming forward in the next up to week to 8 days. That's only 1 day difference. Thanks, Spirit. 8 days is that thinking about yourself differently. Because of all these new perspectives, you're going back and you're letting down these swords. You're not hearing that angry voice. Someone said, maybe you should take in more time. Maybe you should have taken more time, and then you wouldn't have, been such a whatever. They could have said, when we do something, sometimes it's good to read through the instructions and take a little bit more time if it's just the first time. So there's a way to present what we're saying. And so you're wanting to take those kind of lessons, because what's important to you, your values and your morals, or are having integrity, being honest, acting upon with honesty, coming from a place of honesty and truth. And actually there's a lot of charm as well with this. So, moving forward in that light. And so that whole new you does begin within your thoughts. You've changed those. You're learning to change those, and that's by letting them go and sending them away, blessing them and asking them to be healed, so that energy can change and not be hardened within your heart. Wow. And the card in position of your heart is the Nine of Pentacles. So that legacy, that the Ten of Pentacles is the legacy, but it's the Nine of Pentacles, it's the preparedness, it's the, I don't know, there's just this energy shift of yourself, of a recommitment to you, mostly the things that you've been carrying around. And it's as though you're saying to yourself, I've been carrying this stuff around for so long, and it is so heavy, and I do want to let it down, but I don't know what happens then. Because when you're used to carrying it around, but also in the past when I, put down my sticks, then I just got new sticks. But what you have to understand is that you've learned. And so with those learnings, your perceptions changed, and the spark is back. You've got the spark that you once had and appear to have lost. How can the last two cards, both decks have the exact same final card, and the card of the Hermit. This is interesting because the message that Spirit just sent me automatically is that you're going from a period where it's going to be really important to you to have alone time, to have your alone time, to have your own time as well. Like we would say that the me time, that's to re-energize yourself all the time, even in this card. And it's to finding the beauty within yourself. And it's wow. Okay, I heard two things. Was perfect harmony. All of a sudden that harmony, and so things are starting to come back into harmony. You're having to balance. You need to spend more time balancing your chakras. I think that's part of what's going on. Balance the chakras. Okay, that's that part of the reading. The Romance Angel part of the reading. I think I pulled two. I might have only pulled one, but we're pulling. The card that we get is Express Your Love. Okay, so you need to, whatever is going on within a relationship, and there's something that you're not saying, that you're not being completely, here we all just went through integrity and you know, carrying around things. There is something that you are hiding. And the fear is if you tell this person this that you're hiding, then they'll run, or I don't know what will happen, but you know, whatever your fears are your fears. But the card is express your love. So express your truth, express what you need to say in a loving manner, in a caring manner, in a gentle manner, and a manner that makes you feel safe and makes them comfortable. But it's to express your love, and whatever's beneath that, you have to weigh that to see how it reflects and how exactly it is that you're going to, again, we're going back to difference in perception, as seeing it differently. It's going to add to rather than take away from. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. It's actually it's going to add to rather than take away. And the card that came out was trust. That the situation is calling for you to have faith. So that's exactly what it's about. Is you, something is in, look at this. Okay, it's only because I tell people I don't read cards, I start looking at these cards, and there may be a child involved with what you want to say, what you need to say. That can be apparent. But if you look at these two couples right here, and this is the card that I'm saying that you got a secret, I got a secret. And this is the card, now that you've expressed your secret, you trusted, where you, it's funny, I was going to say you thought you were tainted, but there is so much more fruitfulness. There's this relationship really blossoms from this. Now, the other difference between these two cards is the child. So I'm not sure if that is a something, you know, within the past, or, you know, that I don't know what that is. It could be different things to different people. It could be that you're pregnant. It could be that you've had, you know, a miscarriage, or, you know, maybe there's just something because of this little secret, which I just, I can't do it on an individual basis. I could just do it as a group. And so whatever it is that you are hiding needs to be revealed, and that's because you've gone through this whole process and you've now become more passionate about the truth, about being, displaying. And this could just be, and the other thing I thought of when I saw this card, because this little child is carrying an arrow. What that's going to say is that Spirit's not going to let this relationship just go. So it may not have anything to do with a child or a birth, but listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Express from your heart. I just think I'm going to stop it there, because I really don't want to add any more. I think that I've said enough about that. Listen to your heart, and know that how Spirit is guiding you, the path that you've been led on is the path that was so necessary for this, amazing change within yourself. And learn and grow from, and you have done the work. So God bless, take care, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, pile numero 3 with the green calcite, crystal calcite, green fluorite, crystal calcite, let's call it whatever I want to call it. The number 2, and wow, the number 2, this card so reminds me of a meditation that I do, and we float down the river, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful meditation. Okay, this is the sacred pool. What I am seeing in this card might be nothing to do with what the card. What I see in this card is that Spirit right now has the reins. Yes, you are in control. Yes, you have free will, but Spirit has the reins. And I'm not sure why that's important. And you most certainly do, they just said. Okay, it's most important because you're going to go off path, and Spirit does not want you to go off path. Spirit wants you to go along the path that you are intended to go along. So you keep fighting and resisting. If I was, I'm going to say right now, if I was in a reading with a regular client, I probably wouldn't pick up cards for about 10 minutes after that, because I can go on for a very long time within this. So what I'm going to though say is that Spirit has the reins, that you do have free will, that you can do whatever the heck you want, but the likelihood is that they're going to trip you up so that you come back in this position. They said that you've been off your road too many times, but you've had to journey to learn and understand and know things. And so that might be what is rattling your bones right now. Ow, I bit my lip. Jeez, I didn't say that, I said it. What might be rattling your bones right now is that you're not realizing that Spirit is, I would love to say nudging you along. They're not nudging you, they're literally pushing you. So the minute that if you're walking along that straight path, they want you to go this way, you start going that way. Something's happened, a car's coming, you're back, oh well, I might as well go this way. That means you're to listen to your intuition. That's the number one message within there, is to listen to your intuition. And because obviously if you're not, they're feeling you're not, so that you know that you're going the right path. Wow. Okay, so what you're resisting, the card that you're resisting, is the card of the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is typically the synchronicity card. Sorry, this whole thing's going to kind of make me laugh, because I think it has to do with so many different various areas of one's life, and I only have so much time. This has to do with waiting for the one. And instead of trusting, you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, but you're not trusting at all in the least. There's also a sense of holding back to accommodate for something else. Holding back to accommodate. Well, it must be to accommodate for another lesson, so we'll find out what it is within the oh my God. Okay, from one end of the deck. Okay, so the two cards that resemble one another, that balance each other out, are the card of the Fool, which is opportunity, which is newness, which is taking chances, and the card of the World, that there are a lot of chances. There is a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of choices. There's a lot of chances. That's why it's a Wheel of Fortune. And being the fool, and what we learned from the Sacred Pool is that you're safe. You are safe. You are safe. You're safe. Make all the moves you want to make. You're safe. Oh, can you say that again? You have to express. You need to express what you need to express. Spirit said you need to express your love. You need to express what you need to express. Maybe that's just what you're passionate about. Maybe this doesn't have to do with love. Maybe it's coming together of a business. But you need to express that is what you truly want, why you want it, and go for it. And know that there's lots and lots of opportunity out there for you. And with all that opportunity for you, it's to take the chance. There's no opportunity if you don't take the chance. So take a chance on an opportunity that's coming out there. Like I said, Spirit wants you to go this way. Go the direction they want you to. That's where you're gonna walk into a store. Something's gonna happen, and you're gonna. Everything's just gonna shift, and you're gonna go. That's why this all happened. And the card in the position, yeah. It's the card of courage. Did I mention courage? Well, it'll change. The card in the position of meditation is the Five of Wands, which is the card of courage. And that's the courage to take the action. What did I say back here? The Fool, to take the action. You need to make the moves. You need to take that steps. Spin that wheel, and Spirit will stop that pin where it needs to stop. And that's where you go. You need to take that chance. You need to have that tenacity. You need to have that self-confidence, that love of yourself. You need to have the courage to do that. So when you're sitting in meditation, spin that wheel, bring it all in, ask Spirit to guide you towards your next destination, and then trust that opportunity that's before you, because Spirit is going to send you on that opportunity before you. Whoa, okay. The next card, which comes in position of your body, is the card of the High Priestess. So let me tell you that your intuition is going to be so that's what this is about. Okay, that's your intuition is going to be so bang on. It's literally going to be able to kick you in the butt, because you're going to really feel it. You're going to be connected to it. You're going to listen to it. You're going to be guided by it. Our intuition is guided, I would say, by the pull of Spirit going that way, and it pulls you, and it's trusting that 100%. and just knowing, but it's having that courage. But because you've set the intention, it's when you wake up and you say, I've set the intention today that I am going to find the perfect 4-leaf clover, and Spirit's going to guide me towards that. And you go out and just do your normal things, and you are guided towards that. And you, as you do that, you learn within your body what your body feels like when it's your intuition. And you also learn at that point where we learn that it's not our fear. Because our fear will often stop us from doing what we want. Our intuition is to move us forward into where we need to be, who we need to meet, the places in which we're most likely to achieve our intentions. And the next card that comes up, which comes up in the position of the noggin, is the King of Wands. Hi, I don't know if you probably saw that I left. My doorbell was rang about 400 times. Okay, so next card is the King of Wands, and that's in your noggin position. And it's in the last reading, that was in the it was the Queen of Wands in that position. And so that's a different energy. The King of Wands has that authority, has that it's very interesting, different messages that I get, but I know somebody's going to meet a really nice gentleman, and the attraction's really going to be through your minds. He's going to be so intrigued by your personality, just by your thoughts, the way you process things. He's going to be very much attracted to that. As a general reading, this card is about the thought process and of learning to put our words into action with integrity. That is what the King of Wands is he holds a lot of integrity. He can command people. He can lead. He's a leader. So this is, for you is decide to be your own leader of your life. That's where you need to be at this point. And so you do get to choose what you want. Isn't this funny? Because I would say that I apologize. I'm going to apologize for like the 14th time now, because as a general reading, this one's really specific, very specific. Like you're turning away from a really good relationship, and you could take that chance. And yes, there could be, other people that come in, and, there can be people fighting for you, but you know what you want, you know who you are. And that's really what I would say. This person, it's through your intuition, that your knowledge, just that the way you process, that is what they are intrigued by. And the card of your heart is that you have that strength, that you have, what two together are stronger than. This unity is just so beautiful. It's one that together makes you stronger. It's one that together, because the final card here is the Page of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles is not somebody that gloats, not somebody that canters, I don't know what that even came from, but not someone that just needs to understand the ways of manifesting, the ways of taking chances, the ways of presenting. And I also get, someone is going to be presenting you with some sort of gift as well. This is a presentation. It's not a gift. It's a message, like it's like a life message that you're going to hear, and all of a sudden things are going to really change for you. But you've had to go through a process in order to get through to that space, because it's so important to you to get past the fear and just take opportunities where so often you thought opportunity didn't exist. Opportunity existed for you, and it will continue to exist for you. So that's it for all 3 readings, and I hope you enjoyed and that you got something out of it. And again, if you like the video, click the like. If you want to subscribe. There's a notification. I don't think I've ever done that in anything. And again, thank you to Cherie from FreedomsWind. And let me just pull one. Everybody now, I always forget about my magical wish box. Let's see if you have a message. Just pick between 1 or 5, or just listen to all 5 messages. First message. These are 1 to 5 of what your partner, your person would say to you. Number 1, would you wait for me? Number 2, I see you in my dreams. That's sweet. Number 3, can we start over? Numero 4, are you moving on? And number 5, nobody compares to you. Okay, namaste, much love. Have an incredible evening, day, night, whatever time of the day it is right now for you. Sending love, light, and blessings. Bye.